Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spread the Juice episode. And today I've got Kat from Love is Blind UK. Hi, Kat. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries at all. I'm so excited to have you on because I was literally obsessed with watching you and the whole show.
Oh, I wasn't.
So I want to go into like your sort of childhood and your jobs and things like that. But let's first start with Love is Blind. Like,
100%.
what made you go on there and how did you get on there?
I went on there, I got on there because I was approached and I just thought, it's another one of them messages. I'm never going to go on it.
So it was a DM?
It was a DM.
Okay.
In fact, I wasn't even meant to go on it. I was a reserve. So I did all the auditions and then a week before they were flying everyone out, they were like, look, if you don't get the call by, in 3 days, it's a no. And I was like, okay. Like, I had to wait for someone to drop out. So I basically was in London with my mum and it was 3 days before they were going to fly everyone out. And I got the phone call and they were like, yeah, we need you in like three days.
So you only know 3 days before you go?
Well, I did as a reserve.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone else knew months weeks.
Before. Okay.
Luckily, my work were really flexible and they were just like, yeah, go. So that was it. Went home, packed my bags and went. I went on there because I was just sick and tired of meeting people through like, I judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want someone just to know me for me.
Yeah. Did you find that men used to do that to you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like in Jersey, like it is so small. And I feel like people look at you as a female, like I just didn't want that anymore. And I was sick and tired of it. And I was like, I actually want to get to know someone just by their personality, not by looks. I'm just as bad as any other person.
Yeah.
So that was the reason.
Okay. And so how did it start? So you obviously flew out there and then obviously at the start of the show, they kind of introduced everybody. But how quickly are you into the pods?
So we had like 2 days of like photo shoots, like walk-ins and all that fun stuff.
And you never saw any of the boys?
Didn't know. We could hear them.
Oh, really?
Couldn't see them. But if we did see them, the show would have been shut off. Like they were very strict. Couldn't even go to the toilet on our own. Like we needed escort.
So what was it, like apartments?
No. So female stayed in one hotel. The male stayed in the other. And then we'd drive to this massive arena. And you walk in.
Arena?
It's like in a massive arena. That's the only way I can describe it. And then it was just like behind curtains. So you had the living room, very much like Big Brother.
Yeah.
So you had the living room and then there was just one big curtain. Then you would have the alleyway that you walk down to the pods. And then behind that was the boys' living room. So it was all just like plastic walls, just like.
And you're just dead close. You could hear them.
Yeah. Like I could hear it when Freddie would laugh. Like, or he could hear it when, like, we would laugh. Like, it was weird.
That's so mad.
I know.
Like, it's such a brave thing to do, I think, because you are literally marrying a stranger. Like, it's
a legit wedding. Married at First Sight isn't a legit wedding. Yeah. We had to sign documents, like our wedding documents. So after when we went back to London, because it was filmed in Sweden. Yeah. When we went back, the girls and boys were still, so after Freddie proposed to me, we were separated for 3 days until Greece, until Corfu.
Why?
It's so we don't gossip. They want to keep it so raw.
And they want to keep everything on camera.
Yeah. So it's very isolated. But yeah, we had to sign documents and that was it.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 30.
Amazing. So have you kind of wanted to get married or?
Yeah, I'm quite traditional. I want to meet someone. I want to settle down. Obviously it didn't happen, but.
No, but I think it's an amazing thing to do. So when you were in the pods, that lasts for how long, going through the pods?
10 days.
10 days, okay. Yeah. And is it literally all day?
Yeah, so you've got your book that everyone sees, and in that book, we have schedules. So like pod 1, pod 2, pod 10, and you basically like line up outside these pods. You don't know who you're going to get. Yeah. You kind of have a rough idea towards the end.
Yeah. Did they put you in a certain pod more? Can you tell?
So people started to figure it out, like if you were in pod 9, you knew you were going to be a storyline. I couldn't figure it out because you could see the cameras behind the wall, where sometimes it would just be a camera above your head, like just flying past. So you knew if there was a storyline. The girls were really clever. The girls were like, I was so naive to it. And the girls figured it out and they were like, be careful because of it. And I was like, they were like, so-and-so's going to be behind this wall. And so they all figured it out and were telling me all the like goss.
Wait, they figured out who was behind?
They started to figure out like which pods were the main pods and who were going to get the storyline.
That's crazy. So was any of it sort of forced or pushed, or was it? Did they really? So they didn't kind of narrate it around who was having genuine connections.
They did. Like we all had genuine connections. It was real. I can't speak for other couples, but it was. But producers knew who was dramatising things, who liked who.
Yeah.
And I didn't figure it out I was very naive. Freddie was really clocked on. He kind of went there like very close. I was very open.
Yeah, for sure.
And like when you have your MIVs, so your one-to-one interviews, they'd be like, for example, the lady asked me like, oh, do you think Demi likes Ollie? And at this time I was like, well, no. Like, and then it clocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I think she does, because this is like this. So they were trying to create a storyline. So a lot of it, they all know, and they're trying to.
Yeah. So your two that you liked was Ollie and Freddie, right?
Yeah.
So what made you choose Freddie? Was that a genuine decision, or did you get pushed?
Freddie was genuine, and I will always say this, whether we're talking or not talking.
Freddie, but I mean at the start, like, did you definitely know it was Freddie, or did the producer kind of wanted you to?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It was Ollie, because I like the sound of Ollie's voice.
Yeah.
And then what annoyed me was it was Ollie couldn't make his mind up between me and Demi.
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, I want to know, because we knew when proposals were coming.
Yeah.
And I've made my mind up. I wanted to stick with Freddie.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really getting along with Freddie. And I remember going into the pod and I said to Ollie, where's your head at? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, I'm going to make this easy. I'm backing away.
Yeah.
I've got Freddie, da-da-da. He then went back to the boys' lounge and said that he ended it with me.
Yeah, I remember.
But when you watch it, it looks like he ended it with me and it was his birthday. And then I told Demi. Demi knew days in advance. Demi was the first person I told that I was going to end it with Ollie.
Yes, yeah, so
I said, I'm going to, and she was so happy. She was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, this isn't fun.
What was the comment you said that you got in a bit of trouble for?
Because they won't last or something.
Yeah.
That annoyed me because the girls weren't talking to me after the show got aired. And I didn't know why. And obviously from the reunion, I didn't know that Demi took it as an insult towards her. And that really upset me because I remember whispering to Freddie's ear and I was like, I had no idea this was, because no one told me. They just wouldn't talk to me.
But do you know what? Like, I feel like you were saying what everyone's thinking.
Well, I was like, they weren't going to last.
And did they?
No.
Exactly.
But me and Demi are really good friends now.
Yeah.
And we laugh about it.
Yeah, of course.
But my comment was they weren't going to last because Ollie was telling the minute Ollie did the reveal with Demi, he went and told the boys, that girl was not my type. He stayed with her for pure clout.
You can tell that he did that.
And this is why I was getting frustrated because he was telling the boys and the girls on the retreat one different thing, but then telling Demi another.
Yeah.
And the girls tried to tell Demi, but when you're in it, it is hard.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think it's so obvious, though, that they weren't
It wasn't Demi's fault. This was all Ollie's. And that boy...
Demi was genuine, you can tell.
She really
tell.
She liked him a lot. Like, we seen it happen. But my comment was, they ain't going to last.
Yeah.
He is not her type.
Yeah.
Because he made that very clear.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and they spun it to kind of make out
They spun it as if it was an insult towards Demi, which hurt me because I wish the girls had just said, Kat, this is what we thought.
For sure.
So, yeah, that was a surprise.
I think it's so obvious that they weren't kind of, even, I don't know how it is when you're in there to how you're watching it, but for me, from the start, even when they had their marriage, they weren't ever really that intimate.
He even described his type in the pod.
Yeah.
And it is black and white. Like, it wasn't. And it was so sad to see it all happen.
What did he say his type was to you?
Skinny. I don't know if mixed race,
Yeah.
Black, tall, skinny. That was his type.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So was Freddie your type?
No.
Really?
I don't think I have a type.
You haven't got a type
I want a tall, dark and handsome.
Yeah.
And I did get the opposite.
Well, he's tall, dark and...
He's not tall.
Is he not?
No, he does tan, but he's not tall.
Is he not? He looks really tall.
He's probably one of the smaller boys.
No way.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, and how tall is he?
God knows. Maybe just under 6 foot. I don't know.
Oh, no way.
But he's not tall. If you met all the other boys in person, they were tall.
Yeah,
Freddie
Ollie looks tall.
Yeah, they all were.
I think because he's quite ripped, he looks... Yeah.
But no, he wasn't my type. He's a good-looking lad. The whole universe knows that. But yeah.
So what was your feeling when because the doors open and you walk towards each other? How did you feel?
I was happy. Like, genuinely, I was so happy. I was like, wow, like, this guy is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I honestly felt so lucky. Yeah, genuinely. I was like, this is it. Like, he's kind. He said everything I wanted to hear in the pod.
Yeah.
He's pleasant on the eye. Great. Like, what could go wrong?
But it must be quite a weird feeling that you've spent all this time speaking to a complete stranger.
It's weird. When he first opened his mouth, I was like, it took me a while.
As in when you...
Yeah, like I think mentally that can really like mess with someone's head.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it did.
What, so when he first opened his mouth when you could see him?
Yeah.
Really?
And like you don't see him for 10 days and then you see him and then all these emotions come and then you're separated for 3 days.
From the wedding?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
So it's filmed in Sweden. So after the engagement, we fly back to London before flying to Corfu, which was where the retreat was.
Okay, so when you fly back to London.
So we were all separated. The girls were in one hotel, the boys, and we didn't see each other until we flew to Corfu.
And do you have your phones or anything?
No phone.
So you just got engaged and then...
My mental health went, like, it was not good. Like, I remember being in the hotel and the girls were, like, chatting and laughing. And even though I felt secure at the time in the relationship, my head was going, like, bad places.
In what way? What were you thinking?
What about if he doesn't sign the wedding documents? What about if he doesn't turn up?
Yeah.
What is he saying about me? Like, you only see each other for, 20 minutes and then you're gone?
Yeah, what if he just put that all on and doesn't really like me?
What's he saying to the boys?
Yeah.
Like, everything. And then, it's a massive...
Because it's normal to like text them afterwards. Like, so how did that go?
Yeah.
Like a date, you know?
Yeah. And you're just sat with these girls who you kind of just met, the welfare team. You're in London, but you can't really go out. You got no phone.
No, exactly.
You couldn't go out. You were eating takeout. Your routine's gone.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're flying to Corfu and then it's back on filming.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. And plus, don't forget, there were other couples that didn't make it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
there
11
were
engagements. 11? I forgot how many. No, not 11. 7 engagements.
Oh, really?
I don't know how many, but only 5 couples made it through.
Wait, so what 2 didn't?
Well, there was loads. So my partner who I'm with, he didn't make it. He got engaged, but they didn't air it.
He was on the show
He's on the show.
Oh!
Yeah, he's on the show.
But
they didn't air all the couples that got engaged. So this is another thing. So after your engagement, you're back to your hotel and you cannot even talk to the females because you can't gossip. Yeah. And basically you'll get a knock on the door and you'll be told, right, you've made it to, the actual show or you haven't. So the people that haven't, they've gone through all this emotional journey and they haven't made it. So I was up until midnight waiting for this knock on the door to say, yep, you're flying to Corfu or no, you're going home.
That is such
So
a
when I
head
say
fuck.
people were in it for the wrong reason, that's why, because I had no idea this I'd never seen Love is Blind before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you had no idea what you were in for?
So obviously I was fortunate enough to go on the retreat, but there were other couples that weren't and they went through, like my partner, Jake, he went through the emotional journey, but didn't get any airtime. He got nothing.
So he got engaged on there too?
Yeah, he was engaged.
And then, so when he got told you didn't get through, did he then continue? I don't know if you want to talk about him.
No. He continued for, I think it was like a week. And then from what I know, then they split. Yeah. Pretty much every couple split. Because this is what I mean. When you're outside in the real world, it's like reality hits. With the cameras.
So has nobody lasted?
No. So you got Jasmine and Bobby who are still married.
Oh, yeah.
And then Benaya and Nicole.
Is that it?
And that's it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What about that Sam guy?
Sam's actually, right, Sam's a really good friend of mine.
Okay.
But I will say to his face, he doesn't know when to draw the line. He's inappropriate with what he says and he knows this. And has he learnt his lesson? I don't know. I'm not his mum.
Yeah.
But
he definitely was in that for fame. Yeah.
But I think anyone who goes into TV, you know what kind of you're going to get out of it.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I knew, okay, there could be potentials, but my reasons were real.
Yeah.
I've seen Sam's edit and it is bad, but it is Sam. But as a friend, he's there for me. And he's Jake's Jake's friend, but what he did was wrong. And I will always say that. But he knows that. He's not silly.
Do you know what it is of him? He just didn't play, he just tried to play a game.
I think he went guns blazing and he wanted that end result. Yeah,
and he just didn't do it well.
No.
That was all it was because he almost ended up with Jasmine.
I didn't know this in the pod. The girls didn't talk to anyone. Towards the end of our experiment in the pods, no one was talking to anyone. I'm just an open book.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is everyone keeping a secret? That's what annoyed me because I was like, surely we should be open.
Yeah.
And that's why me and Demi got our wires crossed because we weren't communicating.
For sure, yeah.
Which is fine. Some girls like to be private. I'm not.
Why do you think Demi said no at the end? Did she just know in her gut?
I think, yeah. She's got a very good, strong family unit.
Yeah.
Her friends are very Like they told her. And we all tried to tell her.
Yeah,
and thank God she said no.
Yeah,
in fact, I was mind blown the fact that he would even say yes.
Yeah, but that wasn't real.
No.
No, definitely not.
Complete fakeness.
Yeah. So talk to me about Freddie. So you've gone to Greece.
Yeah.
What happened in Greece again? Remind me.
Oh,
I remember, yeah. You had an amazing time, didn't you?
Greece was good.
Yeah.
Greece was good for us. The pods were the best. Like, again, a lot of couples were up and down, emotional. I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
I was fine.
So it was like a perfect scenario when you were in Greece.
It was nice. There was, looking back now, there were so many red flags.
Yeah.
We weren't compatible. We were so different. Off camera, I remember like wanting just to talk. He wasn't really talking, but putting that
off camera.
Yeah, it was almost like,
even from the start?
Yeah, I remember I said a joke on camera and I said I could walk past you naked and you wouldn't look at me. Because like there was no attention.
Yeah.
But again, so much was not aired.
Yeah,
but from what you see, Corfu was fine.
Yeah.
If anything, it was maybe a bit of drama with the girls and Demi and Ollie. But
were you being intimate? Did you have a good sex life?
Yeah, we were. We were. Like it was fine. It was great. It was... I couldn't see it going wrong at that point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that he was genuine though at the start?
No.
Never?
No.
Oh my God.
He told me he lost feelings for me the minute we got back to London to do the homestays.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
He just said he lost the feelings. And off camera, I asked him every day to leave because he was getting really emotional.
Yeah.
It's a lot with the cameras. I get it, the pressure. And I was like, look, let's just go home. We don't need to be in this.
Yeah.
But he wanted to stay. I did not force him to stay.
Yeah.
Didn't even force him to turn up at that wedding. I didn't want to turn up.
Oh my God. So yeah, I kind of remember there being a point where it did change, but it was quite drastic.
Yeah, but so it looked like it was drastically, but it was such a build-up.
Yeah.
So I remember getting to London and when we did our very first filming for the homestay, my anxiety was off the roof. It was like, I didn't want to talk to him, I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Is this when you move in together?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And as people know, like Jake knows me and he knows I'm very like, when my anxiety hits, like I'm very neurotic. I can be up or I can be down.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to lock myself in a room.
Yeah.
And Freddie couldn't get his head around it. And I think he saw a side of me which he didn't like.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just feel so unsettled. And it just went Pete Tong from there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I really noticed that. I mean, it looked a bit sudden on the telly, but I really noticed the time where he just shut off and you were really trying.
I was fighting for his attention.
Yeah.
And even off camera. But then when I watched it, I seen him saying his one-to-one interviews, his mibs. Yeah, like Kat's the one for me and we're going to get married. And he even like told my family.
That is
and
just
this
crazy.
is what winds me up. And I'm like, you were telling me one thing, but you're telling the camera another. And viewers don't see that. And I remember there was a scene, we did pottery. And I was the one who got so upset and I was like, I just want to feel love. But it looks like Freddie loved me. It looked like he was giving me attention and I was the one that was like, I don't want your attention.
Did everyone feel sorry for him when it was aired?
I can't even describe it. It
I
was
can
like
imagine.
the Freddie and Kat war. It was like, I remember when it came out, I was begging him to post something on socials saying like, please, can you say that I'm not this person?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't. He was like, you know.
Because he wanted all the attention and stuff.
He didn't even want to be on camera. He told me his family didn't want him on the show. His mum had no idea. When I showed his mum the engagement ring, she didn't know this is what it entailed. His sister was not happy from the get-go.
Yeah.
So I got her and her mum matching bracelets for my wedding day. Like, honestly, I still get emotional because I'm still so frustrated.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it was just quite clear at some point, and this isn't me digging at him, it's just that just from what I've seen, is that he was picking at parts of you as an excuse.
He had this thing. It was the one day we had a day off from filming and I went shopping and I went to Selfridges and I got a pair of UGG slippers. I came back with these Selfridges bag and that was it. Was like, that was it. I'm going to hold you onto that. I now shop in these high-end places. I had a girl in Primark last week literally look at me and go, I didn't know you shopped here. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He just thought I ate in Nobu every day. And it was awful. Like, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, this isn't me. And it looked like he was just trying to find fault.
an excuse to kind of use.
And I was like, I literally like everything you like.
Yeah.
Like it was bizarre. And my mum kept saying it. Yeah.
So the wedding day, talk to me about the wedding day.
Horrendous. My gut from the minute.
You knew, didn't you?
Yeah. I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Producer told me he was going to say yeah.
No.
I said, I will not turn up at this. Everyone knew. I even phoned Freddie and said, if you say no, I don't want to go. It's a waste of my family are flying from Jersey.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to get married to him because I wanted to prove to Freddie that I am the girl.
Yeah.
Like, that you...
Yeah.
That, you know, I didn't want him to have this image of me. I wanted to prove to him. And what got me was he invited his brother to this wedding. Now, Netflix went above and beyond for his brother to get to this wedding.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, certain people in the production team were telling me, he's at this wedding, you know, he's here for a reason. Like, he's brought his family. His mum showed up. His sister showed up.
His brother's got Down syndrome, right?
Yeah. His brother showed up. Why would he bring his family there if he was going to say no? And I said to him on the phone, if you're going to say no, please just tell me because we don't need to do it. And he did say on the phone, I will give him this. He did say like he was still unsure. I was like, fine. But when I got to the hotel the day before the wedding, I felt sick. I didn't eat. It was horrendous. And I was just crying to the welfare team. But yeah, it's amazing what a few words can do.
Did you say yes first?
Yeah. And I knew because in every other, it was on with the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy, I just looked at Freddy. He didn't seem happy. The minute I walked out, where everyone was saying I was really horrible to my dad because I didn't link arms with him, like I just knew. I said to my dad before I was like, this isn't right. And I heard his mum cry. His sister was crying before I even entered the room.
She never liked you, did she?
She hated me.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated me, which is fine, but like, don't be nice to my face. Like, she just despised me and I don't get why.
I did feel for you there because I did feel like you were just not very welcomed into the situation, whether it be his family or even him. I
had mad anxiety meeting his family because he told me his sister's opinion means everything. Which is, I respect that. I respected that. I got on with them off camera. Like, we had dinner there. We had drinks there. We had nibbles and I felt great. And that's why I got her the bracelet on my wedding day. I know she's very protective of Freddie, which is fine.
How old is he?
God knows. 32, 33. No idea, 34.
Yeah, but it's just a bit, I don't know.
But I got told that she didn't even want him on that show in the first place. So
but he's a grown adult. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His job. Come on, the funeral director. What? I can't get my head around it.
It now explains why he's the way he is. He's so emotionally unattached.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it is because of his job. People may disagree, but...
No, it's got to be.
I'm not sat here wanting to diss Freddie. This is my now view of my story. Now I've seen it.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, like someone's got to do that job and respect to anybody who does.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's amazing you can do it. It's going to affect you.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
How can you deal with dead bodies and seeing families broken? Like he'll see...
Emotionally, yeah. Like that's what I mean. When I used to get emotional, there was no... comfort.
Seen it all before.
And I get it. People don't need to be comforting. I'm not asking for hugs and kisses and to be smothered on, but
of course
there was just no understanding.
No, but of course your partner, of course you want your partner to be.
But it was just like
nothing.
Dead.
Well, imagine he's probably buried people's loved ones who have been killed
100%.
Early, not even just, old people.
And he loves his job. Good for him. But I didn't realise how much of a job can impact someone. But even when I was talking to him, he was very monotone.
Yeah.
It was all one. There was no like high level, low level. It was all just like, yeah, good, how are you?
Did you get any gist of like his kind of upbringing and stuff? Because I feel like for you to do that job, there's something not...
Yeah, I can't go into... I don't want to go into his upbringing, but... Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably why he's so close to his sister. Absolutely. And why his sister is very protective of him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the wedding day... Obviously, I did say yes. I knew he was going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
I knew. But I wanted to go with my gut. I wanted to not just say no because I knew he was going to say no. I didn't do it for any sympathy vote. I knew I wasn't going to get it.
Were you in love with him?
At the time, I was like, I love this guy. I want to show him that I'm not this girl.
Yeah.
Looking back, absolutely not.
No. So how quickly did you feel like you were in love with him? Because it's such a short time.
But if you ask anyone this, it was very quickly. Very quick. I'll say like 4 or 5 days.
But it's so intense, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the most intense thing.
Well, every day you're told what topics you're talking about. And it's like love is forced upon you.
Yeah.
Again, Jasmine and Bobby are successfully married. So
are they really happy?
I don't know. I just find it mad because when you're in the real world, I just think you've not had time to be a couple. It's marriage.
Yeah.
Like it's massive. And you're in the public eye.
Do you get along with them?
I've seen them at events.
So that means
do you know, Jazz gave me some advice when I first came off the show.
Yeah.
But I felt like at events, I was looked down on. Like I was like the runt of the group.
By everyone?
I think at the start, yeah, that's how I felt. I left the WhatsApp group. Maria was always black and white with me. She was always like, "Cat, get a grip."
Yeah. I really liked her. Is she nice?
Yeah, she's real. She is real.
And I can't believe some things. What was her partner called again?
Oh, Tom.
I can't believe some of the things he said to her.
I didn't watch their storyline because I was just kind of skipping to
your own.
My bits. I love that. From what I gathered, yeah. But he's now like some love guru. I don't know what he's doing on socials. He does like love guru stuff.
I mean, I have not even seen him, but I was just disgusted at the way he judged her for being a makeup artist. I just think that is vile.
Actually, Maria met me and Freddie off camera and we went for dinner, even though we're not supposed to, in London. And she came to us really, really upset. And she was like, she asked Freddie, like, what would you do if Kat ran out of money or something to do with an ice cream payment?
Yeah.
And what she was telling me and Freddie, we were like...
It's awful.
Yeah.
I think that, he was saying about his mum wanting him to have a woman who's basically financially stable, but you're implying that a makeup artist can't be.
Yeah, his views were crazy, but...
So who else did you find kind of treated you like the runt or whatever at events or afterwards? Because you obviously left the WhatsApp. I tell you what,
me and Sabrina, I've not seen Sabrina at any events because she's obviously doesn't live in the UK. Sabrina's really close. Me and Sabrina had an issue off camera, private life, nothing to do with that.
Okay.
But she was my rock throughout everything, and she is to this day. But I would say like Nicole, Benaya, Jasmine, Bobby, Ollie, Tom and Steven, they
all had a problem with you?
I think they just watched it and they just thought I was this demon towards Freddie. Like genuinely. And
but
the whole of the public. But when you're in your retreat, and the producers did say this, you will notice that the couples will stay in their couples and it will become like a little groupie.
Yeah.
Jasmine's a really strong opinionated girl, and I just think,
So what
she spoke up at the reunion, didn't she? Because that comment I said about
Remind me, sorry.
I can't remember what she said, but I remember saying like, I didn't mean to say it like that, but she was like, yeah, but you did. I can't remember word for word, but she just came out of nowhere and I was like, oh my gosh.
Has she said anything since to you?
No, we've spoken, but about social media stuff. Like I've gone for her to help and stuff like that. But at events, it's kind of like I'm not part of Love is Blind.
Do you still go to events with them?
No. I've made friends.
Events.
Yeah,
I've
made friends with people who are not on Love is Blind, and it's a very small unit. And it's a fake world.
Oh my God. Tell me about it.
Disgusting.
I don't speak to anyone really off the shows I've done. Everyone's like best friends when you're in there. And then when you get out, it's like, was that all fake?
And I feel like it's Love Island v The World at the moment. Yeah. Like when I go to events, it's either influencing events or TV events. So when it's TV, you've got everyone from Love Island, Married at First Sight. But when it's influencing, it's everyone who's an influencer on Instagram, which is fine. They don't really care. Yeah. But TV world, oh my Lord. It's horrendous.
It
was the White Fox event, my very first massive event.
Yeah.
And everyone told me, you're going to have a shock of your life. And blimey, did I.
Why? Tell me more.
It was just horrendous.
Fake. But that shows
Love
you're
Island
real.
couples are not couples. Men cheating. It is horrendous. I remember sitting back and I was with...
Who cheating? You've got to spill the beans.
I can't.
You've got to.
Let's just say there's so many people on Love Island. And I remember saying I phoned my partner and I was like, thank God. Like...
Yeah,
we are not in this I don't want to be in this category with
sucked
you.
Into staying together.
I remember saying when people ask, "Oh, do you wish you married Jake?" No, because I don't want my love. I didn't. Now I'm
good
like,
it worked
thank
out.
God, I can do it off camera.
Yeah,
my marriage, my way. You're only allowed to take 5 guests.
Yeah,
you're on a budget.
Are you married, by the way?
Oh no! It's a promise ring. But I wear it on this hand. I've had it for over a year now. Everyone says that. No, I sold my engagement ring.
Oh my God,
no! But yeah, no. It's horrendous.
What was the engagement ring? Was it?
Oh, it was amazing. So this was another dilemma. So the boys do not pick their rings. Netflix does. So they gave Freddie this ring. It was 10 times way too big.
Oh my God.
And we both agreed I didn't like the ring. I was like, it was literally like a knuckle duster.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
So did they give the budget for it too?
Yeah, they got the rings from this company.
And they're diamonds?
No, they're lab made.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah, but lab diamonds.
Yeah, it was still stunning.
Yeah.
And me and Freddie was like, if you want to change it, let's change it together. And this is when the whole conversation with Sam got brought in. Mm-hmm. So Sam showed me Nicole's ring. Remember that mixer? And I was like, oh my God, I love that ring.
Yeah.
I was sad. And I even dragged Freddie over and said, Freddie, look, that's the ring that we wanted. Of course they don't show that. God. Anyway, producers pulled me and Freddie into a room and we swapped rings. But everyone obviously just saw me flirting with Sam and wanted his ring from Sam.
Oh my God. So they've really spun a narrative.
But this is what I was like, Freddie, you were there. Like, you knew that was like, you chose, we sat in the room with the head producer of Netflix of the show. And he said, what ring would you like? Me and Freddie sat there as a couple and we picked a brand new ring together.
They didn't show that?
No. And it just boils my blood.
How have you dealt with like the trolling since then? Because, I mean, how bad was it?
It was awful. I can see why people go into a very dark place after TV shows.
Did you go into a dark place?
Yes.
Really?
I had to get severe help. If you told me a year ago I was going to be sat here smiling, talking about Love is Blind, I literally would have put my life savings that it was never going to happen. Jake has literally been there every minute. I remember just being on my own in the flat, just head in my hands, just there's no way out. This is it. This is my life. I couldn't go out. I had to come off social media where every other cast member was posting about Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. I had people saying they're going to come to my hotel room and kill me. Thank God you were adopted.
Oh my God.
I still get it to this day.
Yeah.
I'm Poison. Every name you can think of.
People
they were like literally like, no wonder why you're adopted.
Like that means anything. People say the stupidest stuff though.
I know a lot of it, there's keyboard warriors. I get it. You're told before you go on a TV show. I'd be stupid if I thought I was just going to get love. But it was tough.
And was it ongoing throughout the whole series?
It went on. I remember people were telling me like, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And it did. It did stop.
Yeah.
But the producers some of the team found it as if like that was making the show current.
Yeah.
You know, like if
bad
you're
press
getting
is good press vibe.
Bad press is good press, which is great for them.
But not for you.
No. And you don't get support.
That's what I was going to say. No. Did they look after you at all?
They say you get support. You have someone who calls you to see if you're okay, but no, you're not.
It's nonsense. No. I had the same. I had a welfare check and then a couple of calls after X on the beach and they just leave you. They just leave you to do it.
And welfare's not welfare. Welfare work for production.
Yeah. They want to make
sure. If I had £1 for every, say, reality star who's been on a show like yourself or Love Island who have gone now and speaking up, I'd be rich.
Yeah, there's
because
so
many more people are coming out. And you know what? The more people I talk to, it's like they understand it.
And it's bizarre how nothing's been done about it because there's been suicides. Love Island's one of the biggest shows.
I didn't even want to use the word, but I remember saying to Jake, I was like, I can see why people do.
Yeah.
Because it is horrendous.
If you're not a strong-minded person, you can get sucked into that.
Like I get it. I've watched reality TV. Like I saw you on your TV show on X on the Beach and you do believe everything you see.
Yeah. I'm not like that, I promise.
Yeah, but it's vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the time, I get it. There's young girls, they watch it. They're like, oh my God, they're so invested in your story. And they do forget. But when I'm getting elderly women message me, like it was honestly,
yeah. But you've got to think about them as a person. Like, why would they go out of their way to message you? Like, they must be miserable.
So now I look back and I'm like, oh, I can just swipe and delete. Yeah. But at that time, I honestly couldn't see a way out. I didn't have the cast members to talk to because obviously they had their issues with me.
Yeah.
I only had Jake and obviously like my friends, but they don't get it because they're not on TV and my mom and dad don't know the extent of it.
No, people don't. Unless you're in it, people don't understand the extent.
It was... Yeah.
And it chips away at you because you do strike me as a strong woman and you strike me as independent and stuff, but it doesn't matter. It still chips away at you.
I phoned Freddie crying, like pleading for help, like needing help from Freddie.
Like support you and like change the narrative a bit.
That's how bad it got.
But that's what TV shows do. They go, oh, this is perfect. We can easily make Kat look like the villain and we can easily make everyone feel sorry for Freddie. And 100%. So they kind of go with that.
Freddie ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. I spoke my mind on that show. I let the producers in. I let the camera crew into all my life. I spoke about everything. Freddie was very clever. He didn't go into depth.
Yeah.
If I had a problem, I was going to welfare straight away. well, that was gold dust for them.
Yeah,
because that's a storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every argument me and Freddie had, I went to welfare.
Yeah.
That's where I went wrong.
So with the cast members now, you said you're close with Demi.
I'm close with Demi. Me and Demi are working together. We're going to do events.
Amazing.
We've spoke it out. You know, we've had, a year to think about things. Yeah. And there's been drama that's happened. And so we're close. We talk. Maria, I check in every now and again. I see her at events. Sabrina. And that's it.
What happened with Sabrina and Stephen?
Oh, my God.
Because he really tricked me, you know. I believed him from what I saw.
I believed him.
So you believed him too from your side?
Like, I thought she did. They were, honestly, I thought that was it. Even my mum was like, this is it. Like, and then she told me I was one of the first to know what was going on. And when she was telling me, I was like, nah.
What did she say?
Just the stuff like, if she was going to visit, he wouldn't even be in the flat. Everything she said on the reunion was legit. She's got receipts. Like, he was. So apparently he didn't want any photos with her at the wedding day. And I'm sure his ex-girlfriend was at the wedding. She said it at the reunion that his ex-girlfriend got invited to the wedding. Because they're still friends.
That's insane.
Honestly, that girl has been through.
So he literally... from what I gathered, did he just instantly, as soon as the show was done?
Don't know if it was instantly. I don't know, because I wasn't in their bubble when I left.
Course, yeah.
But she did the long distance for ages. She kept flying over to see him.
Oh my God. And he never went there, did he?
No.
That's insane.
Or if he did, I think it might have been the once but I don't think so.
Yeah. So when you, obviously the wedding day was atrocious for you. After that, what was your communication like with Freddie? Was it done?
Oh my God. So I remember after the wedding, all I wanted to do was still see Freddie. Because he said to me, he made this promise to my family, I'm still going to stay with Catherine. I'm going to still be engaged to her. I just don't want to get married.
Right
I
now,
understood. I was like, okay, I get this now. And we went back the producers let me go back to his hotel room. I didn't see my family or friends because we were flying home the next day. I stayed with Freddie. And we got to the room and after the wedding, I remember crying to him and he was so loving. And I felt, great, okay. I got to the hotel room and he went, cool, so I'm going to go to my sister's room to get a Nando's. Do you want to come? And I was like that was it. Boom. And I was like, do you know what just happened? So I was a bit like, I kind of wanted you to just stay with me.
That's the funeral director right there. Just no emotion.
So I went to his sister's room and I remember sitting there and she was like, she just felt sorry for Freddie. I was sat like crying my eyes out. Like, and then she just acted like as if it was like Hakuna Matata. Like, yeah, so what are we doing tomorrow?
It's almost like they knew all along that was going to happen.
They knew all along. Yeah. And if they didn't, blimey.
Yeah.
Like Freddie wrote a speech.
Oh my God.
Sorry, like that was a very well-written speech.
Yeah.
But what annoyed me is that he was the one that told me that he wanted to stay together.
Yeah.
He even said to me in my dressing room, because I remember he knocked on the door and I didn't want to see him and the producers let him in. And he said, I gave you this ring and I want this ring on your finger. Like, I want to stay engaged with you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great, whatever. And he sat my mum and dad down and said the same thing. But yeah, after the wedding was weird.
Did you go for the Nando's?
I had a Nando's. And then I remember they were watching TV, like chatting. And I was like, I think I'm just going to go to bed. So I went back to like Freddie's room.
You wanted some comfort.
Yeah, I really wanted reassurance. I needed the. And I remember my best friend said to him, one of my bridesmaids said, you were going to need to reassure this girl.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I will. Anyway, and I was like, I'm going to go back to him. He was like, yeah, I'll come back later. And he came back to bed and it was like, okay, it was like nothing. And in the morning, he had to leave earlier because he was driving back to Manchester. And it was literally like, okay, bye, text me when you land. And I remember sitting in the car on the way to the airport and I, like that sick feeling, like,
God, I feel really sorry for you.
And I remember texting him when I got back to Jersey and I'm like, so when am I like seeing
you again?
What are we? Yeah.
Surely he should have said like, do you want to come up with me to Manchester or should we do something?
It was just like, honestly, the sick feeling I can't even describe. Like, you know when someone's going to break up with you and you really love them? It was like, it was awful.
And it's almost like that like little part of you just hoping
and I remember I went back home and I was brain dead. I was a zombie.
Was that it? For you and Freddie then?
No, so we spoke and he booked flights. He was like, I'm going to book a flight and I'll come and see you. He was like, but I can only come and see you for like it was like 24, 48 hours. It was literally like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because I got work. And I was like, all right, okay. So he flew over. He didn't spend any time with my family. He stayed downstairs. So like my mum and dad didn't even see him. And it was like we were friends. He wouldn't really hold my hand. And I was like, something's not right. And I remember I kept forcing him.
Yeah.
And I kept saying like, is everything okay? And he was getting annoyed. And yeah, obviously it wasn't. And he was like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. He left, whatever. And even in Jersey, I said, like, do you want to be engaged? And he was like, yeah. He left Jersey. And I said to him, when am I next seeing you? And his response was, let's not rush.
What?
Let's not rush.
Whilst you're still engaged, let's not rush.
He goes, you're putting too much pressure on it. Let's not rush. And I was like, I know I'm quite, like, when I love someone, I love.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, okay. Sabrina was like, look, take a step back. So I was like, okay. And I did. And it was just like.
Was that done?
We were just friends.
Yeah.
There was no love.
Was he asking, when am I going to see you?
No.
Anything like that?
No.
So was that the last time you saw him?
Like, he wasn't not pleasant. It was just like.
Nothing.
Friends. Like, there was like, the connection was gone. And I remember one day I just had enough. And I remember I phoned him and I said, look, I need to know. Like, something's not right. And in the end, he basically cried and was like, yeah, like, I think it was a good experience. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. And that was it.
All that classic shit.
Yeah. But months down the line, the show comes out. I've had his ex-girlfriend message me. I've had females messaging me.
Saying what?
So someone said he went on the show to pay his mortgage. Someone else messaged me saying that he had a girlfriend the whole time. And he was still with his ex. And because she, do you know what's actually reassuring? She goes, Catherine, just so you know, you're not alone. How you're feeling is how I've been made to feel by Freddie. And I was like, oh my God. I sent him all of these messages. Like, I was like, I'm getting these. Mm-hmm. He was getting really angry. He was like, don't believe it. And I was like, why am I getting all these messages from these females?
So the one that was apparently his girlfriend still, did she message you?
Mm-hmm.
So she said,
I think he was in contact with that. Even like after, so during the period where I was with Jake.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if he was dating, he went straight back on the dating scene. Yeah. But yeah,
instantly.
It's really weird.
That's so weird. So talk to me about Jake. So did you actually speak to him in the pod?
Yeah, I spoke to him. So you speak to everyone on day one.
Yeah.
But I pied him off because he was my last day and I was shattered.
Yeah.
And he said he shared a dog with his ex-girlfriend. And I was like, I don't need this.
You don't need that.
Like, what? No, I'm not co-parenting.
Yeah.
I was like, Jake who?
Yeah.
Like, every girl liked Jake and he was like popular.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm happy with Freddie. Like, no one's really talking about him, me and Freddie. But yeah, pied Jake off.
So then how did that start?
So after the wedding, after me and Freddie split, we'd split up.
So was that the last time you saw Freddie like that when he came over to Jersey?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was out for breakfast with my family and I remember talking to my family about Jake's story because Jake had a rough story and my dad was like, it's so unfair, this like TV stuff. And Jake popped up on my social media because we weren't friends with anyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that's Jake from the pods. So I messaged him on Insta and I was like, hey. And he was like, hold on, because he didn't know what I looked like.
Yeah, but how did you know what he looked like?
Because I saw the boys had a WhatsApp group.
Oh, okay.
I saw the boys. And I was like, hey. And he was like, oh my God, like, is this Kat? Like, from Love Is Blind? I was like, yeah. And he was like, what? He was like, aren't you married? And I was like, aren't you engaged? And anyway, we FaceTimed for 5 hours and I'd never laughed so much. And it was just like instantly. I already had a flight, I don't know when it was, in November, because I was meant to go and see Freddie. And Freddie was like, well, there's no point coming because we split up.
Yeah.
So I was like, as we were talking, I was like, I've got this flight in November. Like, shall I keep it?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, keep it. Fly to Manchester. I'll pick you up and we'll spend the weekend. That was it.
Does he live in Manchester?
No, he's in Loughborough.
Oh, but that's nice. He made an effort to come and get you.
Don't even. And we spoke every day for 5 weeks.
Oh my God.
And then we did long distance for, half a year?
And so now you live here?
Yeah, now I live here. We live together. The dog is with us.
Oh, my. Oh, wait, yeah. So where's the ex?
The first day. I've not met the ex. I think she's pleasant. Like, she's not a problem.
But does she still come and pick the dog up?
No, we do drop off, like children. Drop off. He goes in and we laugh about it now. Like, Toby is such a massive part of our lives. But when I first met the dog, I was like...
Your ex's dog, get away from me.
But no, we do laugh at it. But that's my story. But I think people were like, oh my God, Kat ended the whatever. And then when on with Jake, that did not happen. It was very much like organic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm so grateful for Freddie to say no.
Yeah. Amazing. So it all worked out for the best for you.
It worked out and I don't have to pay for a divorce, which is even better.
So actually talking about divorce, Sabrina and Steven, did they have to pay for a divorce?
Sabrina's paying.
What?
Yeah, Netflix don't pay anything.
So they were, oh my God, it's like proper official.
It's official. Sabrina honestly has done such an amazing job. And I don't know like the legal side of things, but I'm pretty sure Steven, as far as I know, Sabrina was like, I want it done.
Yes, get out of my life she kind of vibe.
Like, yeah, 100%.
I loved her. She gave me such a good vibe.
Do you know what, even on the reunion, I remember listening to her and I was like, wow, I couldn't hold it together because I was just so, the producers told, I went in there and I was like, I'm going to say everything at the reunion and be like, Freddie, you told me you lost the connection with me the minute we landed.
Yeah.
He told me he didn't want to be with me. But yet he made it through the whole journey pretending he did. And I told the producers, I'm going to say this. And they were like, no, you're not. You're not. And that's so me and Freddie's meeting with Emma and Matt were last.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, time's out. And I was like, funny that. Because they knew I was going to go in there. And I was like, I'm not holding back.
What else did you feel like the producers did behind the scenes to kind of narrate the show? Or did they
the wedding day was horrific. Like, honestly, I said I wanted to go home. They wanted me to stay. Welfare. I remember telling a very personal situation with welfare, which happened to me and Freddie, because I wanted to talk to someone. You don't have friends. You've got no phone. And within 5 minutes, a camera crew were in my face trying to create the storyline with me and Freddie. And I was
really
like,
don't care.
I was like, I'm not filming.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. But then I was like, but then if I don't film, I don't want to be a disappointment to the show. I want to help the show be successful. Like, I want to do good.
Yeah, and of course you're there, so you might as well do what you can. But then it's like when people are putting the show before
they'll tell you what the girls say. They'll be like, oh, did you see the way she looked at you?
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're going to, they like, you're sleep deprived. You're fed alcohol.
Yeah. This is what they did to me on Ex on the Beach, literally. Yeah. I was just smashed the whole time. Yeah.
Well, one of the parties in Corfu, we were steaming. We had no food. So hot. We're filming all day. You see it snippet. Like, you know what it's like.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Snippets. And we're there all day. And then you've got to build a relationship off camera. You've got to then still talk to it. It is tough.
Did anyone else get bad trolling like you?
Sam did. But Sam was obviously like...
Yeah, of course. Was that true what he said about Nicole? Tried to sleep with him?
I don't know. I keep asking Jake this.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. From what I've been told, they're adamant this is what she said.
But she didn't deny it, did she?
No.
So
I think they did stuff.
That's so mad.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, but they're adamant.
Is he really tall, by the way?
He's really tall.
He looks massive.
He's really tall.
Yeah. He's not a good actor, though. That's what
he's shit. He's shit. He's fucking
on the engagement, he was just like,
I watched the Eyes with Charlie and Jake watching that bit, and Charlie's from the show as well. He didn't get aired. And I sat in front of that. We both sat there and we were like, what is he doing? And every time we see him, I'm like, I think I love you. No, horrendous.
He went there for the same reason as a lot of people, but he just didn't know how to play it. That's all it was.
100%. But in terms of trolling, I'm pretty sure Tom and Steven got some trolling.
Yeah.
Once the reunion came out, I know they did.
Yeah. Is anyone else happily in another couple off the show that isn't with the show? Because hasn't Ollie just got engaged?
Apparently.
I just saw it on Instagram the other day.
Like, pay for that. Yeah. Honestly, so someone sent me it yesterday, and I know Freddie's on this show.
Is it on the same show?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Perfect Match. I got asked to go on it, but I was in a relationship with Jake.
Yeah.
And I remember they go, oh, okay, well, if you're ever single, give me a call. I'm 30 years old. I don't want to go on another dating show. Like,
exactly.
So if I was to go on Perfect Match, Freddie would have been there. So it was just Ex on the Beach.
Yeah. Well, do you know what's so funny? A lot of shows now are kind of putting the whole Ex on the Beach thing in it.
I don't watch Love Island All-Stars because I'm like, this is just Ex on the Beach.
Yeah, exactly.
So the thing is, like, we are all like mid-30s now. And I'm like, it's actually not normal.
And Ex on the Beach is actually embarrassing. And I'll be the first one to say it. It's so embarrassing. Kat, please don't. Isn't it?
I remember watching Ex on the Beach and like, did they actually come out the sea and be like, surprise?
No, we did not come out the sea at all. It's exactly...
I used to watch it with my mum. My mum's like, this is a horrendous show. But I was gripped.
I was just awful on there.
I was gripped to it.
Yeah. But I was really young. So when I went on the Ex on the Beach, I was like 22 when I went on the first time. And I was literally just fed alcohol, like you said, no food. My ex was thrown in. Then my ex would get with someone who, and I still loved him. But they're not even
like exes, is it? It's like someone you've just slept with sometimes.
No, but my one was a real ex. It depends. Yeah, sometimes. I had one guy that was there who wasn't a real ex, but one of mine was real and they got me smashed. Then made him kiss a girl, sent me pictures of him kissing a girl. Then yeah. Then I got even more smashed.
And then you get trolled for retaliating.
Yeah. Then they come in the house and I was ragging her around and then I got kicked off at some point because I did it a few times.
Yeah.
But
I remember that.
I don't do that in real life though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I get that. It's the same with me. Like, I really had to prove myself on social media. I had to be fake as hell and pretend I was this girl from next door, lovey-dovey. I go and feed the ducks. And it's just like, why am I proving myself?
No, don't do that.
And I remember, like, even on the reunion, I wish I just spoke up. But I couldn't. Like, I was just so emotional. It's the first time I've seen Freddie since the breakup.
Do you feel okay now about all the trolling and stuff? You kind of
Trolling's fine. I do have therapy. Like I'm paying personally out my own pocket therapy, but it's a massive heads up to anyone who's in this world. Like, and it annoys me when I see people on social media and they don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, why is no one speaking up? Like, why are we not? When I came off Love Is Blind, I didn't have anyone. I didn't have the girls. I didn't have the boys. I had Jake. Yeah. But I didn't have any support. So I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. You're thrown deals. You've got agencies. You're meant to attend these events, but you know you're the baddie. It was horrendous.
And also, these events are just piss-ups. They all are.
Events, it's like, who's got more followers than who?
Yeah.
And
it's just a social ladder.
And it was it was just messing with my mind. I was going there, being Cat from Love Is Blind, and then coming home to Jake. And I was like, this isn't normal. Like, it's weird. And even now, sometimes, like, we go out in public and when we're together, we get noticed loads.
Yeah.
And it's great. But then when I go home, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I have young girls. I got called a bitch at work. I've gone back to part-time work. And this girl was like, oh, you're the bitch from the show. And I was like, you're that night. Like, I was like, I can't even.
No,
exactly.
Like,
poor Freddie. Like, poor Freddie. Please.
What the hell? But don't let it bother you though.
No, I don't now. Honestly, when it came out, I was distraught. Now I'm like, I know the truth.
Yeah.
Like, that guy, he's very clever. He did a podcast with Chloe Burrows. He told me he never wants to go on a show again. And on the podcast, he said to Chloe, I will never do TV again. Like, I don't want any dating shows.
But yeah, he's on a big podcast.
Yeah. Well, he's just
and now he's on. Yeah,
match.
Exactly. And that's okay, but just don't say that you don't want to.
Don't say it.
Do you know what I mean?
He told me he hated the cameras. He's like, I really don't enjoy this. And that's why I kept saying, let's go home. So for him to go on another TV show and then his ex-girlfriend messaged me saying he's doing it to pay his mortgage.
Did you get paid for Love Is Blind?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
How much, can I ask? You don't have to if you don't want to. Need to get some
it's
juice.
Not that much.
No, it's not. I got paid fuck all for Ex on the Beach.
600?
What, for the whole thing?
No, 600. So if you make it further, I think you get more. Is it a week?
Mine was literally, Ex on the Beach was like 120 a day.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Even Towie, Towie get nothing.
Yeah, they get nothing.
Yeah.
And Made in Chelsea. And any of the shows, I think when you start, you don't get a lot. I think when you're on it for a long time.
I don't have a mortgage and I live with my mum and dad. So like, for me, it wasn't about money.
No, of course not. And these shows aren't. But do you know what's interesting, which I think you said to me when we were speaking on DM, is that people assume that influencers and people on TV have this amazing, lavish life.
Yeah.
And that you're so rich instantly.
No, yeah.
And it's not the show that makes you rich.
I've never been actually financially unstable before until like now.
Yeah.
Because you come off show, you leave your jobs. Obviously, I did move to the UK to be with Jake and you've just come off the show. So it's like, you can't really, what am I going to do? Put on my CV, Cat from Love Is Blind. People know who you are.
Yeah.
You're not guaranteed an agent.
And people will find it, like, probably laugh at you if you get a normal job and all of that. And it's difficult.
You're not guaranteed an agent. Brand deals do not come every day. There's months apart brand deals.
Yeah.
And if you're not good in that management, they'll get rid of you. Like,
Absolutely.
if you're not making them money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not the whole glitz, glam, makeup girl. So why would I promote that on my socials? I'm literally a gym, chill girl. I can't be asked for it. So it's hard for me to get these brand deals because...
But they don't even last forever anyway.
No, they don't.
They don't.
A new show will be out next month. Love Is Blind season 2 is going to be out. And we won't be, we'll just be the whatever. But no, it's when you come off the show, you don't, it's not all glitz and glam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get gifting.
Yeah.
It's not paid.
No, exactly. I think it used to be much better. I think nowadays the public have cottoned on to like any advert that anybody does, they know it's paid.
Every Tom, Dick and Harry is an influencer these days.
Absolutely.
Everyone. And it can happen overnight on TikTok.
And people buy followers. You don't even know if they're real or not.
You can't.
So,
and I went to an Instagram convention. I learned so much. And if you don't have, it's not about the followers, but if you don't have the engagement, brands do not want to know you.
No, exactly.
It's such a tough world. And I think people just think, you're an influencer, you got a blue tick.
And this is why people end up on things like OnlyFans, which is what I've done, even though I'm coming
Tell you
off.
what, no, but OnlyFans was a discussion that me and Jake spoke about because I know a lot of people go down that route and I see why.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I need to pay my bills.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go into a job because I was in prime time of Love is Blind.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I do? And I remember I was comparing myself to everyone.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't I have followers? People don't want to work with me because I'm Kat from Love is Blind. And then I saw Freddie getting all this love and I was like, this is it. I don't know what to do now.
Would you do other shows?
Yes. But I would do stuff. I want to do a show that shows me. I wanted to do Celebrity Big Brother. I didn't get it. I want to do something that just shows.
Keep trying though, because I didn't get it and then I got it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Ah.
3 times I tried. Not Celebrity, but I tried for the normal one and I didn't get it and then I got the Celebrity one. So you keep trying.
I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah.
And I keep, like, Jake's really supportive. He's like, do it. And I
want
want
the best show.
I want to show people my past.
Yeah.
I want to show me. Like, I don't want to be a dating show. Like,
no.
But
it's
there
such a sick show.
of, like, I remember someone said, why don't you pretend to be single and I can get you on some Celebs Go Dating? So I see why people do Love Island All Stars.
Yeah.
Because you need to stay current.
Yeah,
if you do not stay current, you're screwed.
No, exactly. Literally. Unless you've built a business, which is again why people would end up on things like OnlyFans.
I don't want to do that. But yeah, social media it's a tough world.
So you had a discussion about OnlyFans. How did that go?
Really well. Again, Jake he's so supportive about everything. And he was like, we can do it together. I can help you create the content. If I'm posting a bikini pic,
you might as well get paid for it.
I might as well get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like,
do you agree with something though? Because this is an argument that I've been having over the last few weeks and I've been getting slammed all over TikTok. But anyway, I think that there's levels to it, right?
There is levels.
OnlyFans has the stigma of the name is just, everybody thinks you're a slag and whatever. But I'm sorry, if you post a bikini picture on OnlyFans or you're shagging 1,000 guys in a day like Bonnie Blue, it's not the same.
So successful.
I know, but it's just...
Have you seen any Ferrari?
I know, babe, but would you do that for a Ferrari?
There is the level, and this is what I say to Jake. And I think when you explain it to people, they're like, oh, okay, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't not disagree with it. I worked in Ibiza and Ocean Beach.
Yeah. Same as OnlyFans then.
That's all I'm saying there. If you say you're an O Beach girl, well, I'm sorry, but the uniform says it all.
Yeah.
Wayne Lineker knows what he's doing.
Definitely. Definitely.
They're clever.
What is the uniform? Is it just tiny?
It's just like a swimming costume.
Yeah.
But your job is to flirt with men. Like, you're paid to go on boats.
Yeah.
Ocean Beach should have a show in itself. Like, oh my God, that could be a documentary.
Absolutely.
But no, OnlyFans, I don't disagree with it. I think if you're doing it, but like I know a lot of people on TV, I don't want to mention names, who do it. And they are successful and their partners know.
Yeah.
But Jake, if we're doing a bikini picture or lingerie, I'd rather
especially if you did it together, would he get behind the camera in front of it? I mean,
probably not. I think his camera days are done. No, but I actually think it's powerful for a woman to do that. I don't disagree. I don't agree with sleeping with 1,000 men.
No, exactly.
In 24 hours.
There's levels to it. And I do think that the name OnlyFans has got too much bad
I kind of wish there was another platform. Like, I wish there was like an OnlyFans for people who wanted to sleep around, but then there was like a platform for women who wanted to just show their women's side. It's like, this is me, I'm powerful.
Yeah,
you can't do that on Instagram because...
Yeah, absolutely.
But
so talk to me about your promise ring. When did you get that?
I got it. Oh my God, over a year ago now when Jake asked me to be his girlfriend.
So how long have you been together?
Just over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But like I said, Jake showed me the reassurance we did long distance for 8 months, for 8 weeks.
In fact, we haven't touched on that. So you were born in Jersey.
I was born in Jersey.
Okay. And you lived there literally until...
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I lived in Ibiza. I have lived in London. But I lived there full time.
Are your parents still together?
Yeah.
And they still live in Jersey?
They still live in Jersey.
And what's Jersey like?
Small, isolated. a lot of stuck up people. It's very like, you'll probably be sleeping with your next door neighbour. It's very like intimate.
How many people live there?
Not a lot.
It's small, right?
It's
really
very small.
But beach vibes, did you say?
Yeah, beach vibe. It's stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning. But like, yeah, everyone knows everyone's business.
Is it like white sand, blue sea vibe? Or is that?
Really?
Yeah. I can't believe that.
It's so, in the summer, I took Jake there. Jake was like, even Freddie was like, wow, like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just way too small.
So you have to have a certain amount of money to live there, right?
Yeah, you can't just rock up there and buy a house.
Oh my
Doesn't work like that.
God.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
It is very nice. That's probably why Freddie called me bougie.
Yeah, probably.
But now I live in Loughborough.
Is there like low crime rates there then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could walk around the streets and I'd be fine.
That's one thing I hate about here. It's just so fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Me and Jake spoke about this. Like someone's getting stabbed every 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrendous.
So do you live together?
Yeah, we live together. And like I said, like Jake gave me the reassurance within a week of being with him.
That you wanted.
So secure.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's honestly, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's been with me from, I remember people saying, if you can get through this, you'll get through anything.
Yeah.
He had to watch me potentially marry someone else. He came to an event with Freddie there and he came up to Freddie, shook his hand. And
oh my God, that's amazing.
He honestly, any event I go to, he's like, do it. Like, I will support you. If you want to go on another show, I will support you.
That just shows someone who's really supportive and a secure man. Because an insecure man would say you're not allowed to go. I tell you what,
he's worked so much on himself and he says, like, I'm secure in myself.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to cheat,
and with
cheat.
you too as well.
Yeah. I honestly, and whenever I go to these events, I FaceTime in. I can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
To like see him. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for you.
thankful for Love Is Blind because if I didn't go on it, I wouldn't be with Jake.
Yeah.
But thank God, my love life was not on screen.
I'm so happy for you because honestly, any of my exes, they'd cut my throat if I went anywhere near any of my exes before then. Literally, they've got the worst height ever. Have you had bad types in the past? Or have they all?
No, I've had. I mean, Freddie.
Yeah.
I was the bride.
Yeah, but before him.
I have. 100%. I've had people who are insecure. I couldn't go out. I couldn't do me. I couldn't party. It was like, controlling on another level.
Freddie did make you out to be a party animal as well.
No.
But
ask Jake, I'm such a granny. Like, when Jake tells me he's going out, I'm like, oh, great, I'll stay in. And like, I've got a colouring in book. Like,
I love that.
And it is frustrating that I was portrayed to be this way. But if people want to believe it, that's on you.
I know. And it is the whole judge a book by its cover thing. Because same for me, people might think I'm a wild party animal. I haven't been out for years. I love staying in at home.
Well, I do go out.
Yeah,
I love it.
Then it's
like,
out time.
But even at the events, like I don't drink at these events.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, it is mind-blowing how people get so invested and it's sad.
Yeah.
But they have to make a TV show.
Do you think about having kids anytime soon?
Yeah, we talk about kids.
Really?
I am off contraception.
So you're trying?
Not trying, but look, I'm 30. I'm not getting any younger.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, Jake's 34. We still want to go traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to make sure we're really secure in our relationship. We've been through hell and back.
You can travel with your kid though.
I know. I do say that. I'm like, get a little back that.
Yeah.
No, but last year wasn't easy for us. I was mentally not okay. I've needed a lot of help and a lot of support to get to where I am today.
And how amazing that he's given you that.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I get emotional thinking about it because he's just amazing. He encouraged me to get therapy. Mm-hmm. And without him, I don't know where I would be today.
Yeah.
And like, my parents were so oblivious and I had to put my mum and dad through it. And like, yeah, it's fun. You meet people, you get photos of people in the street, and oh my God, your cat from Love Is Blind. And I'm like,
but is it worth your mental health?
No, it's not. And I wish the welfare were there to tell you this at the start.
Absolutely.
And be there.
But that's really good that you're seeking therapy yourself. That's what I had to do too, and I still have it because
oh my God, I will not go to therapy.
No.
And I think everyone needs it if you've come off a show. You can't, but like, it's just.
I think people need it even if you haven't. I think most
100%.
people talking to a stranger about how you feel about situations in your life, just to get another opinion from someone who knows nothing
100%.
about the situation. And it can only do good, no matter how messed up you are or not messed up.
Honestly, I can't recommend it more. But yeah, it's taken me a lot to get to where I am today.
So you were in dentistry before. Are you still in dentistry now?
Yeah, I went back part-time.
In Loughborough. Are you guys going to stay in Loughborough?
No, we do. I wanted to move to London because with social media, with events, like it is easy for me to get to. His job, you can kind of go wherever. Mm-hmm. We kind of want to move to Bali, Australia.
Bali's
like
amazing.
I said, have you been?
I've got a house in Bali. If you ever want to go,
don't you dare cut this bit because Jake will be on the first flight out. So we want to go there, and I keep saying like he just thinks summer holiday. Let's just go Bali. You got to plan this stuff.
No, you can just go. I was born in Singapore, so Bali was.
Jake's mum was born like she's part of Singapore. Like she's born in Singapore. That's why.
No
So that's
yeah, I grew up there.
So
went to
that's
school
why
there.
Jake wants to go. So this is why we want to traveling before we like settle down.
Yeah.
His goal is to go to Bali in Singapore.
Yeah. Well, I was born there, so we used to go to Bali. It's like Singapore's Ibiza. Do you know what I mean? It's literally used to go all the time. So we've got a villa there, and it's amazing.
This.
Yeah, I can tell you all the spots to go to.
No, so that's our plan to venture out.
Plan. Well, thank you so much for coming on my podcast. I've loved
Thank you
having
for having. Honestly, this is. I've done many podcasts, but this has like been so relaxed and just honestly, it's been lovely and just someone who gets it.
Yeah,
I think it's 100%.
And nobody knows what goes on these shows unless you've actually been there yourself and had a bad experience.
Yeah, no one does know. TV is TV. Yeah. It's on TV for a reason.
Exactly.
And if you want to believe it, wow.
And I'm so happy you're happy. Thank you so much,
babe.
Kat, for coming on the show.
Thank you.